What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Echoes of Elsewhere, the podcast all about urban exploration. I'm your host, Courtney Autumn. There is something about abandoned places, the quiet, the dust, the feeling that time didn't quite leave, it just paused. And if you've ever stood inside a forgotten building and felt like you were being let in on a secret, then you already understand the kind of connection today's guest and I share. Today, I am joined by Exploring with Ty, a Tennessee-based urban explorer with a deep appreciation for the stories hidden inside crumbling walls and long-forgotten spaces. What started as a shared curiosity for urbex and time capsules turned into something more. Friendship, countless conversations, and memories made in places most people would never think to look. In this episode, we're talking about what draws us to abandoned places, the energy they hold, the history they whisper, and the moments that stick with you long after you've left, as always. This one feels like sitting down with someone who just gets it. So let's get into it. Anyway, are you ready to dive in?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, how long have you been exploring?
I started exploring in 2020, so really during when COVID started, because at that time I was doing online classes at a community college and I was just working. So I was just like, my free time I was mainly exploring. Fun fact, I used to watch The Proper People. I still kind of do. Jeremy
Oh, I love
Explores.
them.
I do too. And Big Banks, which I think you've had Jeremy and Banks on here
Mm-hmm.
already.
Yeah.
They're the ones that got me started on it, especially like the time caps and stuff they did, because I was like, places like that exist. Because I used to believe time caps and stuff like that were like staged or like just fake and stuff. But until I stepped in my first time cap, I was like, shit just got real. It was like that moment because you're sitting there watching it on your computer, phone, or whatever, TV, and you're just like, places like that exist. From that point of view, you're kind of skeptical, but once you actually, I guess, get your foot in the door and step inside one, you're like, oh wow, this is no joke.
Yeah, you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't understand the people who hate it, so.
I mean, I really don't either.
No. Would you say houses are your favorite to explore?
I like houses, but I like a variety of stuff. Houses, especially time caps, they're always cool to see because, it's like frozen in time, everything left behind. But the reason why I like time caps is each one has its own story. Every bando has their own story, but I always try and do as much research, deep diving, using GIS, tax records.
Yeah.
Sometimes asking locals, like just casually. Sometimes you get an answer and sometimes you don't. But I like time caps just because you're stepping into someone's former home, seeing how they lived, and it's a very different atmosphere. Every single one I've stepped in, the vibe's weird, don't get me wrong. Especially like Teacher's House. That one I've wanted to see for a long, long time. I can't remember who I saw, like, who filmed it. I think maybe Jeremy. I don't remember. But when I saw that house for the first time on video, I was like, holy crap, this is freaking cool. I want to go see it.
Yeah, that house, I think that house in particular is the house that started my love for time caps.
Yeah.
Like I was obsessed with it when I first saw it, and I saw it in pictures first. I didn't even see anyone do a walkthrough or like a YouTube video. And I saw Abandoned Southeast. He has a blog page, and I have been looking at it for years. And when he went there, I think that was the first time I ever saw it, and I was like, "Oh my God, what do you mean? It's like a museum in there."
Exactly. Especially like where the piano room is and everything. It's literally like just on display. Literally, like you said, like a museum.
Or like it's like an antique store or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Like, yeah, literally. It's just it's so nice. And like you said, you look at those pictures or those videos of those places, and then you also go on YouTube and search stuff like that, like abandoned time caps, and you
Yeah.
realize how many there are, and you're like, wait, what? What do you
Especially,
mean?
especially like down here in the South.
Hmm.
Now there's probably some up north, obviously, but the ones I've mainly explored have been down in the South because, I'm from Tennessee. So I would like to go up north sometime because there are some cool ones up there that I have seen,
Yeah.
like pictures of.
Yeah. I think we're pretty lucky to be in an area where it seems like there's an abundance of abandoned stuff, like in one general area. We don't generally have to travel too far to get to like good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Because
I agree with
there's
you.
good stuff out there too, right? Where are you in Tennessee again?
Knoxville.
Knoxville. Is there good stuff around you, or like nearby, or do you generally have to go out pretty far?
There's a few, like very little. But I mean, I mainly drive anyways because I like the road trips. I like driving long distances and stuff just to see places like that. Because last weekend I drove to Georgia to check out a house, and it was really last minute. And one of my friends that lives down there, I told him kind of last minute. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go down here or go check this house out since you know where it's at?" And he was like, "Oh shit, you're gonna drive 3 hours and 15 something minutes or something like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." So let's go. He was like, "You just do last minute things all the time." I said, "Usually, sometimes I haven't planned out, but when it's stuff like that, it's usually last minute."
Yeah,
But
you got to get it while you can.
exactly, and honestly, that house might be cooked. I don't know. I've heard different stories about it, but you know, you have to see any evidence from people. But there was like 6 or 7 kids that went here, and they were on the roof or something like that. I've heard multiple stories like that, and you hear this stuff, but you have to take everything you hear in this community with a grain of salt. That's just me.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, that's kind of what happened with the misunderstanding when you were like, "Oh, I think which house was it? Oh, it was Lawyer's house." And you were
Lawyer's
like, "I think
house.
it was ruined or something." And I was like, "Wait, what? I was just there."
Yeah, you
And
went not too long before I did.
yeah, and then I realized that what you were talking about was actually the stuff that was already done to it before I got there. So I was like, "No, I think I just edited." Like
Yeah.
I think I just didn't intentionally take pictures. It was more so in one room. It wasn't like the house was clean or anything. It wasn't
No.
like not like like a teacher's house condition, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you were there now, but I was like at first I was like, "What do you mean it was ruined?"
No, I
And I was
just
like, "No, it was like that."
no, because you didn't show that in your post, which I understand why. But I was just like
Yeah.
when my friend sent me those videos, I was like, he went at nighttime, and I was like, oh shit, someone's tagged the house. So that's when I asked you. I was like, was this like that? And then you said yes, and you sent me your pictures. I was like, okay, it's fine, it's fine.
You're like, "No, we're still good."
Because I was like, I'm going down there in February to see that spot, and I was like, I need to see it before he goes because it's probably going to go any day.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we talked about that house
Yeah,
that was next to it's already
yeah.
demolished, so yeah.
I took advantage of that. I took my car up, or
I know.
I had
Hold on.
Salem drive up.
Hold on. You already know. You already know what story I'm going to make you tell.
Oh, um,
So first off,
yeah.
we have to preface that Ty got a new car and he's no longer in the old what was it?
Nissan Altima.
Altima?
It's still an Altima.
It's
But it's
still an
got all-wheel
Altima,
drive.
but now it's new and it's got all-wheel drive, so we can no longer talk shit about what he's driving to Urbex.
Yeah.
Downside to his car though, and here's why. I'll let him tell the story.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So I was gonna have Salem drop me off in the middle of the road, which we had to circle around a few times, and we circled around again, and it was a perfect time. So jumped out, ran as fast as I could, and I accidentally went up the driveway next door to it. And immediately when I get out the driveway and scope out the house, I get a call, and she's freaking out because she was like, "You have the keys on." And I said, "Oh crap," because it was on the dash. It will flash saying, no key detected. And on my app, it told me, it said, "Keys are not with your Nissan Altima," or something like that. And it says car will shut off like in the proximity. And I was like, "Oh crap!" And I was telling her to turn around as soon as she could. She eventually turned around, and I just told her, I said, "Pull up the driveway next door to the lawyer's house." And all I just hear my car just going vroom up the driveway, and it's gravel, and the rocks are all going everywhere and making all kinds of noise. And I'm just like, she full sent it up the driveway because I'm in the house at this point, and I can hear it, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I go out there, and I'm just like, well, it's nice to know the car made it back, and you made it back.
But, it's also nice to know your car can't go very far in case someone tries to steal it.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good or bad thing, depending. But
it's also like, that's how you know you have a new car that you're not used to, because you just be keeping the keys in your pocket and letting someone drive off with it.
For real, because my older Nissan, it would have just kept on going.
Yeah, obviously. I love it. Hard lesson learned, but I guess you probably won't be doing that again. So.
Definitely not. I hope nothing like that ever happens again, because I did not think about it. Like, it was a, last minute decision, like last ditch effort. We got to go. We got to do this. And it just jumped out and ran and didn't even think about it. And then when she called me saying, "You have the keys," and then I reached in my pocket and I was like, "Oh shit. Yeah, I do." That's not good.
Oh God.
And on that road, it's hard to turn around. I mean, that.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not as hard as the driveway at Flintstones, but it's still hard to turn around.
Hey, I'm proud of myself for that one.
You did that in your old car. Yeah.
Both times.
Yeah. Yeah, way more impressive the first time, because that's when everything was still like
intact
in the way. Yeah. The second time was like a breeze because they had to clear everything out to get to the fire.
Yeah, and the gate was just wide open.
Yeah, well, they're like, nothing going on here now.
Yeah, the first time, I mean, it definitely wasn't easy. She got out and was like, "Okay, you're good. Nope. Cut it. You're good. Nope." Because I didn't want to go off the edge, obviously.
Yeah, you had to do like a 47-point turn.
Yeah, but the amount of time it took just to reverse and go around. I should have just went reverse all the way down the driveway, but I was like, heck no. I didn't trust the backup camera at the time.
Yeah, I don't trust myself.
I still don't either. But I was just like, I'm not from here. This is like unknown territory to me. So I was like, I'm gonna be smart, not be an idiot. I act like an idiot half the time, but I mean, I in that scenario, I was like, yeah, I really don't want to go off the side of the road. So
yeah, better to play that one safe. I did the same exact thing. But also, like, your backup cam's not going to alert you before you go into a ditch. It's only going to alert you if you're about to run into something and not run off of something. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm like, it's really not trustworthy in this situation right
that's
now.
That's true.
It's not like, hey, you're...
Yeah, there's no road down there.
Downhill. We don't know where we're going. Into the woods.
Could you imagine how much of a pain in the butt that would be to get you out of there?
Oh my God. And then you'd be, how do you I mean, I guess you could kind of play it off and be like, "Oh, I took a wrong turn. I didn't realize this was like a long driveway and I thought it was a road or something, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I
don't, that's always my worst fear. Like, I don't ever want something to happen to me, like around the bando or in the bando, to where it warrants like someone, like emergency crew having to come and get me out or something. Like I've fallen through the floor or I'm stuck in an elevator or whatever the case, like, I don't know. I hear all kinds of crazy shit and I'm like, that would be the worst. Cause not only are you going to straight up have to call and be like, so listen, I'm at this abandoned school and I was definitely trespassing, but, so I need help.
Exactly.
Like, no, that would be the worst.
I've fallen through the the floor in a bando before, and
What?
that scared the shit out of me.
Like fully?
No, okay, partially.
Oh.
So, God, if I fell through the floor entirely, like all the way down,
You know about
yeah,
that broken
yeah,
ass
you know
leg.
about that. I'd be in the hospital or the whole 9 yards. No, we were checking out a house that was near me, and we were trying to get in through the front door, and we were on the porch, right? And I guess it gave out and half of it collapsed, and luckily that there was a metal pipe underneath it,
Oh.
because I probably would have fallen all the way down.
Oh no.
But that's was one of the scariest things that I've ever experienced
Yeah.
so far, because it was 11. I think it was like 11 o'clock or midnight, and we
Oh
were
no.
surrounded, like there was houses surrounding us. So I was like, "Oh crap! Hopefully no one's awake," because it was pretty loud.
Oh shit. And you're outside because you're on the porch, so like
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That scared the crap out of me.
That's why I don't do nighttime exploring, because something like that would happen to me for sure if I even tried it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I just woke up the entire neighborhood.
No, I mean, I agree with you on that. I do nighttime exploring sometimes, but I'm starting to do more day. But
Yeah.
I mainly do nighttime. That sounds really weird, but maybe you'll understand. More of like scoping out or like reconnaissance, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, sometimes the house looks abandoned, but
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
it's
but then it's
not.
not. Yeah.
So
God.
that's the one thing I'm like, if I go to this house during the day and I walk up to it and then there's someone outside or someone opens the front door, ah shit, I'm cooked. How do I explain
Yeah, or
myself?
you see like a car randomly coming
Yeah,
or
or something like
something.
that.
Yeah.
So that's really the only
Exactly.
time I'll ever nighttime explorers like to do some further investigation and stuff like that, to get an up close look, like to make sure it's bando, because
Yeah.
I always try to get a closer look to be sure, then do like research, observations, like signs of decay.
Yeah, or like everything's overgrown or
Exactly,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. During the wintertime, it's a little different because everything's dead. So
I know. It is kind of hard to tell.
but
But yeah, I don't know. It kind of is and it kind of isn't.
yeah,
Like, but again, we are in the South where like you truly never know
yeah,
if someone's living in something that looks like a bando or not. Because there's been many times where I think I've like gone to pin something on my map and then I'll like further look into it and I'm like, nope, that's definitely lived in.
exactly.
Oddly enough.
Gotta remove that.
Yeah, and then some of them are literally like a whole window is gone and they just have like a trash bag over it
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. We got to be innovative, but a trash bag's not going to cut it.
Apparently not.
I'd just be way too concerned about like a bird or I don't know, like the
Some kind of
elements of
animal.
nature
Yeah.
coming into my house. Exactly. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I agree.
what's your favorite bando been so far that you've explored?
That's really hard. I would say, can I do like a top three, or does it have to be one?
Yeah, no, you can. Because I know one is very hard.
Obviously, Teacher's House is one of them. I love
For
Teacher's
sure.
House. More of just because ever since I found it or watched the video on it, I fell in love with it. I knew the town it was in. With the context clues I had, I got a little help from one of my friends to kind of pinpoint it, like where it's at. And I eventually found it. Sad that what happened to it now, but I'm glad I got to see it. And you helped with that, because
I did.
I was talking to another explorer that went to it a long time ago, and I asked him, I was like, do you know anyone that's been at this spot recently? Because if I go, I want to be prepared. It's my first out-of-state trip, so I mainly went there for Teacher's House, and then I went to Flintstones. But that person told me, they were like, I think this Urbex Echoes person went not too long ago. And I remember he sent me your page, and I remember just trying to get a hold of you. I was like, I need to get a hold of this person. I need to figure out like what the plan is here. Like, where do I park? Like, how do I get in? Like all this stuff. Cause I was like, I need to know. And you probably remember, you're probably like, who the hell is this?
I do. I remember. Well, because you ended up having to comment on something else I
Yes.
posted, and you were like, "I DM'd you," and I was like, "What?" And then I checked my DMs, and I don't see anything. And then I think I just ended up having to DM you, and I was like, "Hey, I don't see a message from you." And that's when you were like, "I really need some help with teacher's house. I promise I have the spot. I don't need the spot." Like right away. And I was like, "Okay, good."
Because I'm
not going to give it to you.
Yeah, because some people are like, do you have the pen? And then I'd send them the pen because I understand why. So at that point, I was just like, you know what? I'll just send her the pen because I don't care.
Yeah.
Just in there.
You're like, I have proof.
Yeah, I have proof. Let me get it.
You're like, this is it.
I have the receipts. But no, that's actually how me and you started talking. And, I'm thankful for that. That's one of the reasons why Teacher's House is so special.
Yeah, we're friends because of Teacher's House.
Yeah, for real. It's a very interesting story to tell, honestly.
And that's the power of a bando,
Yeah, exactly. I've met some wonderful people in this community that I'm thankful for and that I've gotten the chance to explore with. And each side of the community, there's always a good and bad, but I've seen more of the good side than bad, which I usually try not to get into drama and stuff anymore. I just do my own thing. I mean, shit happens, but anyways, yeah. Teacher's house, definitely. The pharmacy. Glad I got to see the pharmacy. The taxidermy place, the taxidermy museum. The one I can say where it's at now because it's demoed, but it's in West Virginia. That was a last minute decision, like choice. We were coming back
obviously
from DC, and convincing her wasn't easy, that's for sure. But she did it, and I'm
she did it in flip flops.
Yeah, exactly. Proud of her for doing that. Because at first, I don't know if you know the layout of it, but you have to like balance yourself on the porch. Like it's a wraparound porch, but obviously the boards and stuff are missing, so you're really just balancing on the beams, right? So once you get around the corner, it's more stable over there. So at first I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I should do this or not because I was mainly scared of, I guess, the structure, how safe it was, and if it was going to collapse. But I said, fuck it. Let's go. If I fall in the river, then sure. I'm not going to be happy, but yeah. So we did it. We got inside. That spot definitely very unique. You don't really hear about abandoned taxidermy museums. You don't.
No, definitely not.
It's a rarity. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That and dental offices. I don't really hear much about abandoned dental offices.
I know. I still want to do one.
Yeah, there's one I want to go to, but I don't think it's doable anymore. But that is a spot I'd like to see one day, is a dental office or something like that.
Yeah, me too.
I'll say Grandma's house, which I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It's in.
There's like 12.
There's 12. That's why I'm just like, she's not gonna unless I describe it.
Like I've heard people call Teacher's house Grandma's house, and I'm like, that's Teacher's house.
That's Teacher's house. I know the story.
Like, get your facts straight.
Yeah. But Grandma's house. I'm trying to describe it the best way I can. It's the one, there's that painting of the woman that's above the fireplace.
Yes.
The blue carpeting, the little dining nook.
Oh my God. Yes,
that one.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I went there with Alex, Urbex Poppy, and one of one Cameron. And that was the first time I met one of one Cameron. and I've been talking with Alex over DMs and stuff like that. But that week was really the first time that we actually like explored and stuff. And he asked me, he was like, "Do you want to go to Georgia with me to check this spot out?" Because the person that was going to go with him couldn't go, so he asked me. He was like, "So, what are you doing tomorrow or whatever?" I said, "Not a whole lot. Probably going to drive back home." And then that's when I was like, "Do you want to go with me?" And I did, and that's one of the craziest time caps I've ever seen. And
Yeah, that looks like a cool one.
yeah, and that one I don't think is doable anymore. I was told by a Georgia explorer that they have like cameras now, trail cams, and then the door you used to get in, there's a big giant like like those old like school cameras you'd see that they have like the white little. It kind of looks like a street light, but like it's like what I'm talking about. It's got the white little.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I call those the school cameras because every school has them, and it
They
has one
do
of
though.
those.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
and it has one of those, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Shut up, really?" I said, and then the person I was talking to said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, it's definitely not a school, so I don't know why you'd want one of those there." But I mean, I don't think they're cheap. That's for sure.
No, there's probably a reason they use that kind of camera.
But yeah, there was only I think the last time I saw somebody post about it, I think it was like a few months ago, and I think whoever it was, I think that's the reason why it's like that now. But
Dang.
yeah, and I'm gonna list two more, and then that's it. Because it's hard. It really is. Because
I know it is. It is.
when you ask me the one, I'm just like, I can't do that. That's hard. Because everyone
I
is
know. I don't
unique.
even know why I asked that question because I don't even think I could do that. Like,
Because each
I
one's
don't know if I
unique.
have a top one. There's plenty. There's probably a handful that for sure
Yeah.
come to mind. You know.
Like they're all unique and they all have their own like story to tell. So it's
And
really
it's
hard.
always like for now,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
now.
because I'm like, Lord knows what I'm going to see this year, next year. You know, I could see so many other things that I end up falling in love with. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
exactly.
I'll ever be able to really answer the question.
Yeah. The next one I would say is probably the hair salon, the vintage one. It's down south. It's that
Oh,
really
yeah, I know which one you're
yeah,
talking
it's got like the giant hair dryers and stuff like that. And yeah,
So cute. Yeah.
yeah. I went to that one.
Oh, that's right. Because I saw
Yeah.
yours and Salem's pictures from that, right? Y'all
Yes.
took like pictures and yeah, okay.
Yeah. And because I've always wanted to go see that because, like I said, that's one of those out of the box spots. It's unique. There's not 1,000 Bando hair salons. There's a bunch of abandoned houses, but like I said, it's unheard of abandoned hair salon. So that was a spot that I was like, we are going to go see that. Like, no excuses. We're going. We're in the
You're like, I
state.
don't care what I have to do.
Yeah, we're in the state. We're going.
I don't
So,
blame you.
but yeah, it's definitely a spot that I'm glad I got to see.
Seems like it's in pretty good condition.
Yeah. It is kind of sketchy though because it sits on like the main street. So you really have to be like in and out quick if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't stay in there that long because the way in there's no coverage, no nothing. So you're going to have to go like quick. And that's what we did because it's one of those like, you know, you have to take that risk, someone could see you, someone could not. So
Yeah.
there wasn't really no other way. So
You got to risk it for the biscuit
yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day.
You have to. A lot of these spots you have to take that risk. And there's some people that I've talked to that don't explore. They're like, how do you do that? Like, do you just not think about the consequences? I said, no. I just get in and just do it. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, so I assume you gotten in trouble before or no?
Yes, I have. Not like gone to jail or anything, but just warned, if that makes sense.
By the police or by
Yes.
like, oh, okay.
There is a water park that some of my friends and I went to in Ohio, and one of my friends that went with me, let's put it this way, he could not get caught by the
Oh,
cops because
oh,
yeah, let's just, you can put one and one together, but he's
yeah.
cool. He's my bro and stuff like that. So he didn't get caught, which is funny how he escaped. They're like the cops. It's funny.
But what do you mean? He just left you?
No, 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 no.
Oh,
He waited, but he was okay. So what happened was, I'm gonna try and like summarize the story. So we were at this water park. They had cameras. So we didn't really stay that long, but it was a spot that we wanted to see. And so we said, screw it. We did it. Probably overstayed our welcome, that's for sure. And I remember I was acting like a fool. I was sliding down the slide, and this cop walks by on this bridge. So he's like a few yards from me or something like that. But the weird thing is he never turned around. Like, he's on this bridge, like just looking straight, and I'm on his right side. Like, if he would have turned right, he would have seen me, but for whatever reason, he didn't. So I saw him, and we were like, "Oh shit!" And we literally jumped off and went under the slides and hid, while my friend was like, "Oh shit, I'm jumping the fence." And for whatever reason, jumping the fence was the play. I guess it was the play of the day, or like the best option to get out, because he didn't get caught. He just went to it was either a Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse and just chilled out in there and waited until
oh my God.
until we got out, and we were trying to update him as best as we could. But we were also being quiet because we were trying to wait for the cops to leave. And they eventually left, but I kind of wish we would have waited a little bit longer. But no, we left. We got out, and we got out through the fence, and we were walking along the interstate because it sits on the side of the interstate. And we were walking down the interstate, like not directly on like the side of the road, but like we were on a hill, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we were walking towards like the exit ramp to get off, that exit. And we, and you can probably see where this is going next.
And this is how you got spotted.
Yeah, so the cops were leaving the scene. They were driving, and one drives past us, and we didn't look at him or anything. We just kept walking, and then not even like 15 seconds after the fact he drove past us, he turned around, and I was like, well, that's it. There's no more evading. So
I thought you were about to be like, no more urbexing.
no. I was like, there's no escaping this. I was like, there's no running from this. So he turned around. We walked towards, there was a hotel nearby, so we walked over there. And yeah, so the cop pulled in, and we started talking to him, and he was like, were you inside this water park? And I said, yes, we were there. I'm not gonna lie, because it makes it worse, and especially in that scenario. So yeah, exactly.
You're already caught at that point. You might as well
comply. You may as well comply and not be a dickhead. So they asked for my name, ID, the usual routine, asking me, where are you from? And I said where I'm from, and they were like, you drove all the way up here for this? I said, yeah, because he just didn't understand. He was like, why would someone drive 4 or 5 hours to trespass and then potentially get caught? That, like, it didn't make sense to him. And we were trying to explain that we were taking pictures.
Sir, have you heard of urbex before?
Yeah, and that's literally what we were saying to him. It was like foreign to him. So,
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It was like, it's basically taking pictures of abandoned places, documenting them. And he was like, oh, okay. So I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh, he finally understands. But he was like, gave the rundown. He's like, this is private property. It's trespassing. We're on the phone with the owner trying to figure out what he wants us to do with you guys. And we had to wait for a little while. And, what's weird is I was honestly expecting, like, because, they're supposed to hand out like trespass notice, like you have to sign and all that stuff, right? Saying that you won't come back here. And if you do and you're caught, you go to jail, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They basically just told us, they were just like, hey, you guys are criminally trespassed. You can no longer come back here. And if you do and you're caught, then you're going to jail. I was expecting to get like a piece of paper or something. Hang
Oh
it,
no, they'll
hang
just
it
put
on the
your ass
wall
in
and
the
frame it.
system.
Wanted to hang it on the wall.
You're like,
frame
sir,
it.
can I have proof of this encounter?
Yeah. Gotta hang it on the wall. An achievement or
Could you
something.
imagine you go to like one of your exploring buddies' house and they have like their mugshot on the wall
Oh God.
from trespassing? Oh shit.
I don't know if I'd want to hang that on the wall.
It's
I'd
like
rather
the
hang
same
a ticket.
difference.
Yeah.
It's just one step further.
Yeah. So they got off the phone with the owner, and he basically just said, just tell them they can't come back. If so, they'll go to jail. And he did throw this in, which was kind of odd, but I guess I kind of understood why. He was like, if the owner finds any damages and stuff like that from when you guys went, that's a whole different story. You'll get a phone call and you'll have to come up here for court and all that like crap. So obviously I was like, he's not going to find anything because we didn't damage anything. Everything was wide open pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what?
so he just kind of threw that out there, and I was just like, not really too worried, but I was just like, I don't want them to try and pull some crap saying that, oh, this is bent, or oh, this is that. There's a hole here, like, no, because I know some people are like that, owners, and like just throw any kind of BS excuse. Not all of them, but there are some of them that are like that. So I was thinking about that the entire time. And then a month or so after the incident, I was like, not as worried. And then here we are, 2026, and that was in August of 2025. So I'd say I'm chilling. I'd say I'm all right.
If that's your only time, then yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, I would say.
I did have another one at the Speedway. I was with Salem, and they just told us to leave, couldn't be there. And then she was able to find the owner who owned it, and we asked him. But we went to the police station before we found out that information. That's probably the only time that we actually put effort into figuring out who owned something and getting their permission. So we did that, and we got to successfully check out the Speedway, which was very fun. It's very cool. I enjoyed that one. The only other time I can remember was I was exploring a abandoned college, which is in my hometown. It's actually the first place I explored. And I've explored it several times because there's like, I think 12 or 13, 14 buildings on property. But I went with my friend, and we were in the gym. And I remember he accidentally opened a door that led to the outside, but the door was facing a house. So like 5 or 10 minutes later, some older woman comes out, and she's like, y'all can come on out now. You're done.
Oh no.
And then like my friend was like, nah, we're just going to go to our car. And we just dipped. We parked a while, like a little ways away. So we dipped. That's the only time that's the only time I've ran away. Because
Oh my god.
I knew she didn't own it, because she was the only one that could have seen us, because he opened the door, boom, house right there, literally line of sight. We got caught.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are the really only encounters I've had. So yeah, that was fun. All three of those incidents were fun. Uh,
Yeah, that's definitely not a worst case scenario situation. So
yeah, I've been very lucky. Let's put it that way, and I'm blessed that I've been that lucky.
yeah, those are more like inconveniences too, which do
Yeah,
still suck because you're like, oh damn, now we gotta go.
yeah, we gotta
But
go.
whatever. That's way better than going to jail.
Exactly. Yeah, I mainly explored that college because there are so many different buildings, so many different floors.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a decent explore though. It'll keep you busy for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that school, it has a history, and they're still trying to fix it up today and get it approved to have or regain its accreditation. So
Oh, really?
it's a historical black college. It was founded in 1875, so it's been around for a long, long time. I remember the first few buildings were built by students, and if you go up to like, it's called McKee Hall, it's one of the main buildings up on the hill. You can see like thumbprints on the bricks of where the
Oh,
students
wow.
built a lot of the original buildings
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
hill, which is really cool.
That is cool.
But, you know, really in the 1970s is when it really started to decline, um, with financial struggles, and, eventually lost its accreditation, I think, in the 90s. But it's
Dang.
weird. Like certain buildings on there seemed vacant longer than others. So it's kind of like, when did it actually fully shut down? Because
Yeah.
mainly the last few buildings I think shut down in like 2015. I do remember the
What?
yeah, exactly, because
That's
it's
crazy.
weird. It don't make sense because I'm like, some of these buildings look like they've been sitting here since the 90s, 80s, and just I don't know. It's just, you would have to see it for yourself because I'm like, these dormitories look like they've been sitting here for like 30 plus years.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, and if you like history, one of the buildings on site is named the MLK Towers. They named it after Martin Luther King Jr. because he gave a commencement speech there a long time
Oh,
ago, which is
wow.
really freaking cool.
That is cool. I like that.
That's another reason why I like exploring the history. I'm a
Hmm.
history nerd. So,
Yeah, that's what I try to tell most people when they're asking me questions about exploring in the community. And I'm just like, you wouldn't really believe how many of us are just like nerds,
exactly.
and we're just like here trying to dig up some facts and put a story together. And it's even better if it's architecture based and all these other things for me anyway. I love stuff like that. Schools too. Schools are another one that you see. Some of them can be built so different than others just based on where you're at, like state wise.
Yeah, exactly, and that's true. Like some of them, like there's one. I don't think it's no longer standing anymore, but I've really wanted to go explore it, but never had the chance to. It's a school in Detroit, and for people that are listening, they probably like, I know exactly which one he's talking about, but it's called Cooley High School, and it has this giant like auditorium, like it's got like a balcony and everything. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, modern schools don't have that. So that's,
No.
another reason why I like exploring is because a lot of the architecture is so different nowadays than back then. I mean, when I saw pictures of that high school auditorium, I was like, damn, it's like a double decker. I was like, that is so cool.
uh, you're so right though, because here
No,
it's not like that at all.
exactly. And I've explored plenty of schools down here in the South, and they're all different, unique, but I think there's one that I explored that's near me that shut down in like 2006 or something like that. So, nothing really, I guess, a wow factor when it comes to architecture because they just don't make stuff like that anymore. It's like with houses nowadays, they're just all copy paste.
I know, you're so right. That's like why I wonder what's going to happen to urbex in the future. Because I'm like, what if the houses that you see everywhere now go abandoned in time? I'm like, I don't know if I'll have much interest.
No, that's
It's just
true.
not the same vibe. You know, I'm like, no, I don't really want to go explore an abandoned cookie cutter neighborhood.
No, for real. Because
Like,
they're
I'm
just
good.
all the same. Copy
Yeah,
paste.
people are like, oh no, it's been abandoned for 3 years and it's a time cap. I'm like, that's not a time cap.
Copy paste.
That's not a time cap. I don't want to see modern day appliances. Like, I'll just go home and look at my own
Yeah,
house and take
exactly.
pictures of my own house then.
No,
Be
I
like, look
mean,
at this bando I found.
no, that's true. That's true.
I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna
You
make
should-
my house like look partially abandoned inside when I run out of content and be like, look at this time cap, y'all. People will be like, Courtney, there's a framed picture of you in the background. Like, why? Like, damn it.
Like, no, there's not. That ain't me. It's my doppelganger.
But that's kind of how I feel about AI. You know, like sometimes when you see people post certain things, I'm just like, I hate that we live in a day and age where I have to look at your picture twice and be like, is that AI? Did you AI generate this? Like
Yeah,
sometimes I want to comment on people's stuff and be like, did you AI generate this or did you really go to a place that looks like this? Because I see a couple of flaws here.
yeah.
Like,
Because
why is the door frame wiggly?
no, for real.
You know, why does it look like a spaghetti noodle?
No, I agree with you. That's where AI is becoming a problem. I majored in IT, so I'm supposed to like that stuff, but I'm like, it's good and bad. And the only reason why I say that is because, especially like older people, they're like, "Is that real?" And I'm like, "No, that's AI." And the thing is, with me, I can tell pretty easily if it's
Oh, hell
AI.
yeah. Yeah,
And
me too.
yeah, I mean, sometimes it's obvious, and sometimes you really have to be like double check, But I feel like people our age, I feel like it's easy for us to detect it.
Well, I
So,
think we grew up like
mhm,
seeing a little bit of the internet evolve. So I think our eyes are trained to know what's fake and what's not, even with or without AI, you know? But I don't want to use it for visual content. Like if I want to get an idea or some sort of feedback, or I'm looking for something specific, like I don't know, in like data,
yeah,
then I'll use AI sometimes.
yeah,
Mostly I'll just do a good old Google search result, but I'll ask AI sometimes. Um, but there's people that seem to take their picture of a bando or in a bando, whatever, and they run it through AI.
yeah,
So it's like the edits look like AI and not
yeah,
necessarily the entire place, but it doesn't look like your organic like photo editing. It just looks
right,
like you fed the picture to chat GPT and you said, hey, make this look a certain way.
yeah,
And then it did.
yeah.
Like I know there's people who do that for thumbnails
For
to
clicks.
like, well, for clicks, and I'm sure to kind of like keep a little bit of the exterior shot discreet,
Yeah,
you know, or like change it slightly so that way they can't run it through some sort of
yeah, that's true.
um you know, like a reverse image and then
Yeah,
the thing just tells you where the fucking address is or whatever.
yeah,
So I think they do it for both reasons, like for the clicks and to distort the image. And that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like you would have a full set of these pictures that you posted on your Facebook or your Instagram and
yeah,
you can tell that the editing is AI.
yeah. Make it harder for people to find it as well. But,
Yeah.
there are situations, and you've probably been in the same boat as me and probably a few other explorers as well. But there are sometimes I will just not post the outside. I will not
Oh, for sure.
because I'm just like, they could possibly find it. Now, what I've noticed is like with example time caps, it's a little more, I guess, up in the air. Like if you, I don't know, posted a picture of the outside of a school, it's probably way easier for ChatGPT or Google, like reverse image search. It's probably easier to find it because it's a school.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Time caps is kind of like like a toss up, if that makes sense.
For sure. It's a hit or miss
Yeah, exactly.
situation because there's so many houses too in the South, especially that look alike.
Yeah,
You know, so I'm like, you might could try that, but it's going to feed you about 172,000 different addresses.
yeah, exactly. And that's why a lot of those houses stay in good condition. Not always. Like if someone's leaking the spot, then that's a different story. But like with Teacher's House, I know someone that posted the outside of it, and I threw it in Google image reverse search, for shits and giggles. And I'm not trying to say it's a generic house like today's houses, but there are
No,
houses
but
like
for
that.
back then, yeah.
There are houses like that.
There's so many houses like that.
So, I was like, oh, it doesn't pop up. It said, oh, this is Vermont or something like that. I was like, yeah, that's totally.
I did the same thing. That shit sent me all over the damn place. And I was like, no, this is not it. I know not.
That's why I said it's like a toss up, because it'll give you this. And if you reword it, it'll be like, oh, it's over there in, I don't know, friggin' Missouri. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I usually don't post pictures of the outside of time capsule anyway, but there's people that I know that do. And I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
that is kind of okay. But, if someone tries really hard enough, they could eventually find it. But like I said earlier, if you post an outside like picture of a school or something, that's easier to find because it's public place and people once went there. So
exactly. And there's more like visual record of it on the internet for like a thing to pick up on.
It's more documented.
Exactly. Yeah. I get what you're saying. But like, I don't know. I think if I post the picture of an outside, like an exterior shot, it's usually for sure when it's a house that's so far off the road that you can't see it on maps or Street View.
Yeah, like bumfuck.
Because that even if you did by chance know even remotely the area, you're never going to get confirmation unless you trek your ass down a dirt road into the woods.
Exactly. You go out there yourself and find out.
You got to figure it out on your own.
Exactly.
Or if I know everyone's already done it. But I still never even posted the outside of Teacher's House, and I still won't either. To this day. I don't think I ever will. And I know it's out there, and I know it exists, and I know people have posted it, but I won't be a contributor to that one. But they can't get in now anyway without getting caught. Yeah. So
that's why it stayed in that condition for so long, is because people kept it safe for so long, and then I guess eventually the owners got wind of it. And so I'd say for the people that have that spot, I'd say we all did a pretty good job at protecting it.
Yeah, for as long as we could anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it stayed like that for years.
Yeah.
Years.
And now it's off the Urbex market.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Off the market.
That happens, though. You got to take your losses around here.
Yeah. That's like with the Flintstones, you went there, looked at the damage.
Yeah.
It sucked. And then there's that house that's in my neck of the woods, that Victorian house that burned down. I got it
was lots of fires last year.
Yeah, for real. It was just a rough day, a rough year for Urbex.
Yeah, it really was.
Lost a lot of.
Because then that happened in the beginning of the year too. That
in March.
The one near you, yeah.
And
dang,
I think Flintstones happened in what, July? Yeah, it did, because that's when I went out there to meet you.
Yeah, and I think that like there was speculation over fireworks or something. Yeah, and so I remember it being like over the 4th of July time period.
I think it was you. Did you send me? I don't remember if it was you, but there's video footage of like body cam or something like from the fire department. Yeah, I think it was you. I remember seeing that, and I'm just like, "There's no way." And then I saw the gate, and I saw the front of the house, like the little column, and I was like,
"Yeah, you could tell like after a bit when you see certain like the circular stone part of the house."
Going back there
like,
felt
no.
Going back there felt really weird.
Yeah,
because it still smelled like smoke and like fire.
It was still smoking.
Yeah, and it was still smoking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally actively smoldering. And I had like Toms on.
Yeah. I remember now.
Like, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking.
But yeah, there were certain parts that still had smoke. I do remember now.
Did I tell you that I saw that clown houses for sale?
Shut up.
Yeah, so they're not like displaying pictures of it, but that lot that we talked about that's next to it that was
Next
cleared
door, yeah.
out. Yeah, that one is listed, and in the description of the sale, it says that you can purchase the lot next door for
No
like an
way.
additional however much money if they wanted to combine them. And I was like, holy shit, that's
Holy
Clown
shit.
House. Because then I look at the map and I'm like, let me make sure it's not on the other side. And no, that's not. It's definitely Clown House because there's neighbors on the other side of them or
I
of the
can't
empty lot.
believe
So I
that.
was like, oh my God, no.
Because I think we were talking about something like that when we went, because we were like, the property next door, like there was that foundation or something was there at one point. I don't remember what it
And
was.
they tore it
They
down.
tore it down. But that's
And they cleared
crazy.
out all the like stuff, like all it almost looked like a patch of woods had grown there at
Yeah.
one point and they cleared it all out.
Well, if you're ever over there, you'll have to send me pictures. That's a shock to me. When did you find that
I
out?
know. That made me kind of sad because I was like, well, why they got to do that?
Yeah, for real.
Because if someone goes and looks at that lot and then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, can I see the inside of this house? And they go in and they see it, they're like, sold.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I
no
would.
hesitation. Yep, sold. When did you find that out?
I think I was looking like a month ago when I saw that, and I was like, and then I even went on my maps to make sure, like, verify the address was on the
Yeah.
same road, and I was like, it sure shit is.
That's nuts.
I just didn't understand that though, because I'm like, who even owns that? Or
Yeah,
is it
for real.
because no one owns it, then the county owns it, so they can offer it like as is?
Yeah. With those kind of ordeals, that stuff gets kind of tricky. It depends.
Yeah.
But no, I'm in shock, man. Honestly, I'm glad I threw you in there. got us in there.
You did.
Yeah, that was a crazy day, that's for sure.
At least I was prepared for that because
Yeah.
I'd gone out there one other time with my girlfriend, and it's already hard enough for me to be like, hey, we're going to go. You can go over Bex with me. I found a house. We can just walk straight in through the front door,
Yeah.
everything as well. And then she'll go, you know. But wasn't expecting it. And I think I was told that one of the doors is just open. So I was like, apparently one of the doors just open. So when we get there, just park the car and we'll stroll on in.
Yeah.
And we didn't because the doors were all locked. And I was like, shit. And then I realized there's that opening in the side of the house. And I was like, listen, you can just throw me in there. And she's like, I am not. I am not. No. You told me we can walk into a door and I'm walking into a door or we're not going in. And I'm like, God damn it. So we had to leave. And then luckily you were brave enough to throw me in there. And I was like, I was really hoping by the time that you and I went back, the doors would be unlocked somehow. And they were not.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Ty had to throw me into this house and into the abyss of the unknown because I couldn't see shit. Like it was up too high, so I couldn't like peer in or anything. It was like, this is the only way.
Yeah,
So
guys.
let's do it.
Scary.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, because I was worried because for a little bit after you got in, I didn't it was like quiet for a minute. I was like, oh crap. I was like, I hope she's all right.
Like she just fell in there and now she's unconscious.
Yeah. Now I'm like, oh shit, how do I get in there? But for record, guys, she basically used my back as a step stool that day. My back's still intact. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah,
I don't weigh that much.
I'm just kidding. But that was really the only option we had. I think you're a little taller than me. I'm pretty sure, or not by much.
Me?
I don't remember.
I should hope not, Ty, because I am but 5 foot tall.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Because I'm 6 foot.
Like, ain't what? How did you even think that for a second?
I don't know. Like it's been
I have
minute.
tall people energy.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I last seen you in person. But yeah,
I have never had someone remember me as nearly 6 feet freaking
I don't
tall.
know. I don't know. I just I just thought because
literally people talk shit immediately when they meet me about how short I am. They're like, okay, so when did your growth get stunted? I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
like I'm 5 feet tall. Like, isn't that kind of normal? And they're like, no, it's like 5'3". I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Love that for me. I legit need a step stool almost any place I go.
You just start
bando or not, like just existing in my kitchen. Step stool, bathroom, step stool. Everywhere I go, I need a damn step stool.
But yeah, I was the step stool, but we got in.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
It's
And
good
we
to have a
sat
step
around and
stool
talked for
friend.
like a couple hours.
Yeah, that's definitely the longest I've stayed in a bando to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
The longest I've stayed in a banda was obviously it was teacher's house because I was having a field day. I was like, I drove all this way. This was my dream spot. I'm here now. I'm going to enjoy it. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I drove all
Yeah.
the way to Alabama for a freaking lawyer's house. And, well, I should say I traveled all the way to Alabama
Yeah.
because I wasn't the one driving. But I didn't spend any more or less time in there than I normally would at a bando around here.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, when I'm done, I'm done. I was
yeah.
kind of outside waiting for Carrie and Rose. I was like, y'all coming?
Yeah, for real.
They're like, bitch,
It
we've
also,
been here for half an hour. I'm like, let's go.
it also depends, like, on the, I guess, where the spot is situated at. Because, there's some where it's in the middle of the woods, like what you said. And then there's
Mhm.
some that, like, oh, it's on a main road. And the driveway's just right there.
Yeah,
So I always take that into a factor. But,
for sure.
I'm ballsy as it is anyway. I go into a lot of spots with the screw it mentality. I'm just like, I try not to get myself like worked up and stuff, anxiety and stuff like that, running high or whatever. But I just go in there.
So are you not one of those people that park a mile away from the bando?
I will. I will. That's like for
I love
for
it.
example, I try to, but if there's like if parking like on site, that's my last ditch effort option. But
For real, I do that first
yeah,
every time.
I always try to find, oh, there's a church. Let's park there. Oh, there's a dead end road. Let's park there. I try to look around the general area and try to find something that would work. Something.
Yeah.
I think the farthest I've ever walked was, God, I think it took us like over an hour and a half to get on site. I think it was December of 2024, but it was the Thunderbird House. I'm pretty sure you've heard about that spot.
Mhm. Yeah.
We didn't park like on site. We just pulled off the side of the road, right? And we walked through like, I guess it was farmland or like we walked for a while. And this was at night. Like we pre-dawned it, or in her words, Chuck Berry hours. But we we pre-dawned it, and we were coming like up on the side of the house, so like the front left side of the house, and the lights were on and everything, which from people I've talked to that have explored the house, the lights were always on. And so I wasn't really freaking out yet. But the house sits on like marshland, if that makes sense. So it's like wet, damp, and you have to watch where you're stepping and stuff. And there's been a few times where I kind of lost my footing and stuff. And I was just like, it was a journey. Let's put it that way. It was a journey.
You had to work for that.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out which door was unlocked. And we went in there, stayed for about like, I think 30 minutes, maybe max. Got to see the car. Didn't really get to see much of the house, which she wanted to see the car, which I don't blame her. I wanted to see the car too, but the house had a lot of other cool stuff. But anyways, we heard sirens and stuff in the distance, and we were like, we gotta go. It's in a rural county, and they got louder and louder. So we were like,
oh no,
we didn't chance it. So we just were like, nope, let's go. And
I don't blame you.
we left, and then we went down. We were like, let's go to Georgia. We went to Georgia.
Next plan.
And we went to Georgia to check out the child predator's house. I don't know if that name rings a bell to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we
with the red truck.
Yeah, exactly. We went down there, and this was at the time where the front door was just open, and then there was like a hole like in the floor, like when you walk through the front door. So you kind of had to like jump over,
maneuver around.
Yeah, exactly, maneuver. So we went down there for, hung out around there for a couple hours, and left, and we tried checking out this theater that was in Georgia. It was a neon theater, like 90s style with the neon lights and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. The one that flooded, or some
Yeah.
idiot flooded, I guess. But, at the time we couldn't get in. So we just said, let's just go back because it was getting dark and it was around the time where it got darker early and stuff like that in December, so the winter months. So we just headed back, and I said to Salem, I was like, let's go back to the Thunderbird house. And we did, but the craziest thing, I kid you not, and this literally was like, it scared me, but now I look at it nowadays, I'm like, this is crazy. That same door we went to, locked.
What?
Locked. Like, it was locked, and I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God. We were probably one of the last ones to go in that house, and I don't think anybody's gone since.
Dang.
So I was like, they either definitely knew we were here,
Yeah.
or the caretaker was like, oh crap, I forgot to lock that door, and locked it.
Dang.
But
that's
that
crazy.
same door, I tried opening, and I was like, it's locked.
That sucks.
So, yep, we left. Bye-bye.
That's even worse, kind of, when you're like, I know for sure what to do.
Yeah, like, I know what.
You're not
how
even
to
thinking
get
about
out.
it. Yeah.
So,
Oh God.
tried opening it, and I was like, well, that's it. I'm not gonna try any other door. So, nope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, let's go.
Dang. Kind of sad though.
Yeah, but didn't get to see the whole house. But I mean, hey, we got to see the car. That's fine. The car's cool. I love
That was the
vintage
highlight
cars.
of
Yeah,
your
exactly.
journey. So. You accomplished your mission anyway.
I mean, yeah, wanted to see the whole house, but we got to see the car. It was cool. I'm curious. I've thought about asking one of my buddies that lives out there. I'm like, hey, fly your drone over there and see what's up with it, because no one's hurt. Like, that house has gone quiet since.
Yeah.
Because some kid after me, like months after me, he actually got caught there, and cops actually pulled up. I remember seeing video footage of it on
Oh shit.
someone's story on Instagram, and I was hanging out at one of my friend's house out there in the Middle Tennessee area, and we were having it was funny. I call it the Urbex cookout. We were like a bunch of Urbexers. We were cooking out. Alex was there. A few of his friends were there, and we were just all hanging out and talking about the house, and it was a fun time. But that was when we saw that footage floating around on social media, and everyone was just like, I think you were the last one to go inside that house that documented
Dang.
it. So, yeah, that I'm always curious. I'm like, what does this house look like now? Since it's cooked or
Oh, for
popped.
sure.
I mean, if I
Yeah.
lived out there and had a drone, I'd be like, let's fly it over there and see what's up.
I mean, I have a feeling I might be like that over time with Teacher's House, because like it's gonna go
Exactly.
quiet now that like it's being watched so closely.
Yeah, and
But
I'm glad that you confirmed it too, because I was hearing it from people, and I was like, I was talking to Alex or whatever. I was like, I'll just message Courtney, and this was like a little before that he came on your podcast. I was like, I said, I'm just gonna message Courtney and see what's up, and be like, hey, so apparently Teacher's House got popped. Do you think you could do maybe a quick drive by at some point? And you did, and you confirmed.
Oh yeah, I did. I was like, oh shit, say less.
Yeah,
I need to go
exactly.
look.
And I love that you did that. I was like, hell yeah, she confirmed it, so it's truthful. She lives around there, so that's the primary source.
Yeah, and then poor abandoned Southeast, he messaged me like a month or something, maybe longer than that later. I can't remember. And he was like, hey, so I think that there's cameras out at Teacher's House. And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yes, there are. And he was like, oh, damn. I was like, well, if you would let me know when you're coming to South Carolina to do something like that, I could have spared you the trouble. And he's like, I didn't know. He was like, one of my friends wanted to see it, so I was gonna take him there. They were traveling together, and
right.
but yeah, I could tell it was a no-go because I saw those cameras, spotted those cameras right away. I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the way you were describing them to me, I've just never seen cameras like that, like solar powered or something like that. I've never seen them
I
like
don't
that.
know for sure if they were solar powered. They just look
They
like
look
it. And
like
then
it.
if I remember correctly, the house itself didn't have power, so they
Right.
would kind of have to be, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah.
That's the only way I think. I mean, like you said, the house don't have power, so I mean, it's got to be like solar powered or something like that. I mean, I don't see any other way.
Me either, unless they have the most long-lasting batteries ever.
Or running a portable generator yards away or something. I don't know.
Mm.
I
I
don't
know, right?
know. I mean,
Oh, neither.
I've seen some pretty interesting security methods. Let's put it that way. Some wacky ones out there.
Oh yeah, especially in the South.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't hesitate to make their own sign
Hmm.
and let it say whatever they want. And it's so far outside of your standard, like no trespassing. It's like, hey, if you step onto my property, I'm firing shots, not calling the cops. So it's up to
Right.
you. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I won't be going in here.
Yeah. Um, Now that you say that, there's one house that I really wanted to go see, but didn't. I missed out on it, and it's called Piper's House. Don't know if you've heard that name before, but
Mm-mm.
it's a house in Alabama, and not a lot of people documented it because I don't think it was very well known. But one of the rooms is literally just pink. Like the house was home to three like daughters, a husband and a wife. But I know the story or a story because I always hear different versions of that, like the story with that house. But
Of course.
I the only reason why people refer to Piper's house is because her name in one of the rooms says Piper. But yeah, so I was like, I want to go see that and haven't heard anything about it at all. And I've asked a few people. I asked Posey and another explorer about it because no one's gone to it recently. So I was like, I'll just use my sources and see what's up. So they weren't too sure on it either. So I was like, you know what? We're near it. Let's drive by it. And I didn't realize how sketchy and like how risky that spot is because there's a church near it. There's two houses. The road's not busy, but you know, there's still people that live around it. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is definitely a risky spot. And I attempted it anyway because I remember on the back side of the house, there was a door that was supposedly unlocked. It was locked. The car was still there because there was an old car sitting on the property. So I was like, okay, the car's still there. So, you know, I thought it was still doable because, I mean, it wasn't really that in that bad of a shape. Like literally, you could haul it off. It wasn't like beyond disrepair. Yeah, it was rotting there for a while, but it could easily be moved. Versus the Thunderbird, where you'd have to get some serious off-roading vehicle to haul that car out of that house because the land is it's rough, like rough terrain. Versus
Dang.
Piper's house, you literally can just get any kind of car and get like a hitch and just load it up there or whatever. So
Dang.
I tried to get inside that house, tried seeing the doors unlocked. No, made a mad dash across the street back to the car. And I was like, yeah, that sucks. I missed out on that one because
Mm.
that one was really cool. It was, I think, abandoned during the 2000s because there was a lot of like, I remember seeing videos and pictures like there was DS games. There was a lot of toys in that house that I had growing up. So
Mm.
I was like, this is like, you know, I guess our generation because the kids are probably my age now. I don't know, but I'm just guessing because of Nintendo DS, the toys and stuff they had. So yeah, that's a spot I wish I could have seen, but like you said, you win some, you lose some. So
For sure. But that would have been nostalgic for you anyway.
kind of like my
That
generation in Bando, you know.
that's kind of like what Salem was saying about wanting to explore a place in the future that goes abandoned that you had something
Yes.
to do with, like a school you went to or a mall you went to all the time or a store or a bowling alley or something like that, that you remember
Yes.
specifically. Because I know I posted a picture of this abandoned, well, I guess it wasn't technically abandoned. It's just been closed for a really long time and now it's for sale, but it's like an old putt-putt course in
Okay. Okay.
Alabama. And Posey saw it on my Facebook and he was like, "Oh my God, this is wild. My dad used to take me here when I was a kid." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's
Like,
cool. I
how
did not know
lucky is
that.
that? Like, lucky and unlucky, it's an unfortunate thing, but yeah, I'm always like, that's the experience I want to have.
Yeah, I technically had something like that. So
Mhm.
Knoxville had a mall called Easttown Mall, which the proper people did a video there, but um I didn't go to it as much when I was younger, but when I started driving and stuff, I started going there. Just because it was, let's put it this way, it didn't have a lot of people, and I can't stand people. Especially like when there's just a sea of
You're like, "I
people.
needed liminal space and minimal people."
Literally, that's how it felt. Half the time
Yeah.
walking in there, it was like a liminal space.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I went there a few times. I remember when I worked at a, this is really funny. I worked at a Spirit Halloween 2018 through 2021.
What a
And
fun job,
yeah,
though.
and they usually move into abandoned storefronts. So it's kind of funny. But I remember when we were tearing everything down, I was working at a different store that was in an old Toys R Us, and they asked me if I wanted to go help tear down a store in East Town Mall. So we spent a few days out there tearing that store down, and the mall was still active, but all the storefronts were no longer there. I think it lost more than half of its tenants. So
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like
it
most malls.
definitely, yeah, it definitely was a liminal space for sure.
Yeah.
But technically, I did go there, but I never got the chance to explore it when it went abandoned because they were really, quick tearing it down.
Yeah.
And
Well, they probably knew what was gonna happen.
yeah, then you want to know what's there now?
Hmm.
An Amazon fulfillment center.
Stop.
Really, that's all that's there now, and it's so dumb.
That is dumb.
Yeah, so I'm just like every time I drive by it, I'm like, oh, there's
There's the old mall.
yeah, there's the old mall. It's now a fulfillment center.
Yeah. I grew up near the Richland Mall, which like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bunch of people have done. And I grew up going there, so I do kind of have a thing like that, but I didn't really get into urbex until I don't know, like again, because
yeah.
I was into it when I was a teenager and that mall was still like open and popping, but yeah, by the time I got back into urbex, like the more recent past, it was already it wasn't fully closed. The Barnes and Noble was in there, and that was the last store standing for the longest time. And I went into that Barnes and Noble many times when it was the only thing there. And I would walk around the mall some, but they would have like the whole part of it kind of blocked off.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I never even thought about it. And then by the time I did and got obsessed with the idea, they were actively tearing it down, and I was like, of course.
There was one mall. It might have been that mall, but when I was driving, like to meet up with you, they were tearing down something over there. I don't know if it was a
Mhm.
mall, but
It was. You
okay,
passed it.
yeah.
Yeah, you passed it to
Because
meet
I
me.
was
That's
looking on my map, and I was like, "Oh, I have that pin," and I was like, "Well, let's remove that because they're actively tearing it down right now
yeah,
as we
that was
speak."
definitely it. At least they're gonna put, I think they're building like a little town park type of thing and some condos that will have like a Kroger or something underneath them. So at least it's not an Amazon fulfillment center.
Yeah, it's something.
But I'm still sad it's not a mall anymore.
Yeah, and I, I got to explore my first abandoned mall on that Alabama trip. So I've always wanted to see an abandoned mall. That was one of my spots I've always wanted to explore was a mall of some kind, and I got to explore one.
That one is a good one too, at least.
Yeah.
So
It's very
I drove
sketchy.
by one in Georgia. Where were we? I think we were in Georgia, and I was like, "Oh shit, I have a mall on my map." And then we drove up to it, and it was like the sketchiest, most apocalyptic ass place. Like it just looked crazy weird. And I think that they had started kind of gutting it and maybe demoing part of it or something. I don't know. It just looked insane. And I was like, first off, and you could tell they had like welded the doors.
Wow. That's
Like
insane.
there were no, you can really see them because
Yeah.
they covered them with like metal and then welded them to the freaking brick or concrete or whatever. And I was like, kind of glad we can't get in here because it looks like a scary place.
Yeah, depending where you're at in Georgia, it's pretty scary and
You
stuff.
know, I don't like Georgia.
I don't blame you. I used to live there.
Just gonna put it on the record. I don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I've gotten spoiled being in South Carolina, but the last time I tried to explore in Georgia, I was like, I want to leave.
When were you last down there? Was it December, right?
In Georgia, I
Yeah.
was last in Georgia in February.
Okay. Very recently. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You went
Because
there in
I didn't
December,
post
right?
anything from there because I didn't explore anything.
Got it.
Everything I tried, I was like, nah, not
No,
it. This
not
is not
working.
the vibe. Mm-mm. No, thank you.
You did go there in December though, right? I'm not mistaken.
I did go there in
Okay.
December, and I had one cool spot.
No, I mean
But we went there for that spot, so you know.
that's fair.
But and maybe I'll change what I said. I don't like Georgia that's bordering South Carolina. I don't know how it is out in Atlanta. I know that there's like literally a whole group of urbexers in ATL apparently. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I guess let me know if there's good bandos in ATL because I have yet to see them in Georgia other than that one weird place that I still don't even know how to describe what that was.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Well, first off, we went there because someone told Rose that it was like where The Walking Dead was filmed.
Yeah.
And when we got there, I was like, it was not.
No.
This is not it. I'm not that familiar with The Walking Dead. I haven't seen like every single episode in existence, but I know this isn't it. And then someone else told me after I posted part of it that it was like an antique, a car museum.
Right.
And then something else. I can't remember now what the third thing was, but apparently it's been 4 different things. And The Walking Dead was filmed there, but it wasn't.
That's it. I wonder where you got who said that.
I think someone posted it as that. Like they were going through part of it and they're like, this is where The Walking Dead was filmed. And it's because it looks like it could have been, you know, like there's like an old timey, like westerny, whatever you want to call it. Why can't I think? Oh, the saloon. There's like a saloon. Yeah. And there's like this element of, it's very apocalyptic on the outside, you know, so I get it, but I don't think it was filmed there.
Yeah.
I don't. I looked it up on Google and it said no.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just be making stuff up as usual.
It's fair.
I mean, it was a cool place, though. I will give it that, with or without that fact being true. It was a pretty cool place. I've never really been in a place like that. But I also realized that the bigger the place doesn't necessarily mean that I want to stay there longer.
Right.
Unless it's maybe a time cap. But like Rose and Carrie were having a fucking field day. Like for real. I think we were there for like 2 hours or more. And I was like, after I see everything I need to see, I'm like so antsy and ready to go. I'm probably like the worst person to explore with, honestly, if you like to take your time, because I don't. And I'm like, you know what we can do in 2 hours? See 12 more bandos. Let's fucking go.
See, I never would have thought that because me and you, we were hanging out in the clown house for like 3+ hours, just chilling and chatting around.
But I knew that was coming, you know, and that's different too. Like if I'm with someone and they're literally a YouTuber and they're like, hey, I'm going to have to film. So you're going to have to like either keep yourself busy, play some Mario Kart, bring some snacks. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Then I know that we're going to be there for a while, you know, and it's chill at the clown house. I just stayed outside and stayed out of your way. It has a porch. We're on the lake. We're good. We're chilling.
Yeah. Like you said, lake day.
Yeah, exactly. I was out. I was just chilling at the lake for the day. But in a place like that where I'm just like in basically a factory like setting and there's just a bunch of old cars and random craps around, I'm just like, okay,
Right.
I'm ready to go. And the girls are like, oh, but I want to go over here and I want to see this. I want to see that. I want to take a picture of that. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, I'm going to steal Carrie's car and I'm going to leave y'all here in Georgia. I don't know what y'all are going to do, but I got to go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Truly, I really probably am the worst. At least people know.
Like I
You
said,
can't say you didn't know. I said it on the podcast, and
yeah.
there you go. People are like, definitely never exploring with her.
Yeah.
I promise I won't be like that if you and Salem come to South Carolina, though.
Yeah, like I'd love to come back out there. I really would.
You'll
Just
have to.
gotta figure that out with her at some point. Because,
Yeah, she needs to make some time.
Yeah.
You need to make time for me, Salem.
Yeah, for real. That's funny. But usually with her, like, I always have to, like, it's usually not last minute with me and her. Like, we plan this stuff out, like the Alabama trip. Yeah, the Alabama trip. Like I said, hey, we're going to spend a day at this city. We're going to spend it, I try to coordinate it best I can. Usually I do all that stuff because I'm the one that usually maps everything and try to have the most pins. Like, hey, we're going to do this and try and hit all these pins in this city. Try not to make it so scattered.
Yeah.
Next city
That's
over.
exactly how I am. Work smarter, not harder.
And I always try, like, if there's people that I know that have been in the spot that I've talked to, like, I messaged Posey a bunch. And I was just like, hey, what's the status of this? Because I try to have the most updated information as possible. So, like, if something's not doable, we'll just move on to the next thing.
For sure.
But, that's not always how it goes. So you're just going to have to find out when you get there.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like a fate thing anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
you take that chance.
The thing that happened at Teacher's house could have happened when you went.
Yeah.
By the time you went, there could have been cameras up. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oftentimes until we show up. That's why I get why people have friends in different areas that they're like, hey, bro, this is like 20 minutes from you and it's like 6 hours from me. Can you go drive by there and see like,
exactly
what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, I think I sent you a funeral home out there that you knew about it, but you've never attempted it. You were telling me that there was like a dog or something like that. Yeah, that one.
Actually, Lindsay's the one who told me that. She went in there and she was like, so the neighbors let their dog out and I had to run out. And then she was like, but also it has fleas. And I was like, what, the dog? And she was like, the funeral home. I was like, oh shit, definitely gonna pass that up. I'm good on it.
Maybe the dog's been in there.
Clearly, God, it must have known its way around. It said, not my house, but I know my way around.
No,
that's like another worst random fear. It's always like the random ass shit. It's like getting stuck, falling through the floor and having to call 911 or getting chased away by a dog.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, animals are way more unpredictable than people.
Yeah. You never know what they're going to do.
Like, at least if you're a person, I have a 50-50 chance of talking you off the ledge, you know, and we can come to a reasonable agreement where I just don't show my face around here again. We forget this ever happened. But a dog, I can't have that conversation with. So, like, if it's running after me, it has one thing in mind, and I don't want to find out what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's usually the one I ask, like, because she does a lot of funeral homes. So I'm just like, if I have one that she's been to, I'm going to be like, hey, what's this? Like, do you know anything about this one? Like, what's its status? It's like that one I didn't ask her at the time, but
the one we drove by.
The one we drove by, yes. And then the one that I hit coming back from South Carolina when I went out there for Teacher's house. That was the only funeral home that I have successfully hit. Very creepy, very, I guess, disturbing because there was, remains of loved ones still inside.
Oh,
But
shit.
yeah, that was very hard to see, and it very upsetting. Let's put it that way. And I just don't understand how stuff like that happens. I don't know.
Oh, me either. That's the one thing that I can never make sense of is stuff like that with funeral homes where I'm just like, how
Like
in
that's someone's loved
general can
ones.
people be so careless?
Exactly. Like that's someone's loved one.
Yeah.
So
It's like
yeah,
it's your whole business to make sure this goes accordingly.
yeah. I just was,
It's no wonder you're closed and it's abandoned.
that was my first like funeral home I've ever explored, and I didn't think that would be there. Like, why would you?
I see. I see. Yeah. So you weren't even like expecting that.
No, I was upset because I talked to someone that went there beforehand, and I said, "Hey, did you notice that these are here?" And he said, I did not notice that, brother." He was like, "Where?" And I said, "It's at the front, like the front door, like near the front door, like where the counter and stuff was at." And he was just, I guess, in shock. I was upset, obviously, and
Yeah.
Salem was too. Salem was, and because you never think of something like that happening.
No.
And that came full circle that day because there's stuff like that
Yeah.
that happens within funeral homes.
Yeah. And often, like if they're closed and abandoned, that's usually kind of the case is like some sort of weird shit was going on in there. And naturally, you find weird shit in there.
Yeah, like there's one in Georgia. I can't remember. I think it was Places Forgotten or the other one. Um, there was a bunch of cremated remains in there, and I think somebody tipped off law enforcement or like something like that. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but they took them out, and I guess hopefully took them back to their loved ones. And I never really thought of that at that time when I explored the funeral home. I remember reading about family owned funeral homes and stuff like that. And there's a lot of them that close because of not following it by the book, or
Mhm. Going against code.
yeah, exactly, not following the standards, storing improperly, like the bodies and stuff like that. I mean, you hear some wacky stories, and never would have thought I would have found cremated remains in a funeral home. Never thought that. And that's
Yeah.
something that still kind of haunts me.
Well, rightfully so. I think I've seen enough now of other people's content in funeral homes where I kind of know to expect that.
Yeah.
In a way, that doesn't mean that I won't have a reaction to it if I saw it in person. I have yet to do decent funeral home with really anything. The only funeral home I've done didn't even have the embalming room intact. It was kind of like blah.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
got to change that.
Yeah,
We
for
got to
sure.
change that.
For sure. Yeah. If not, I have two friends in the community that are coming down this month. I
Okay.
think they said something about having some funeral homes on the map or whatever. If we have no luck, then for sure I'll make it a goal for when
Yeah.
you and Salem come.
Yeah, for real. And I don't know
I
what it
won't.
is, but like with South Carolina, or just like I guess in the South, but for whatever reason, specifically South Carolina, there's a lot of like abandoned funeral homes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like what's going on over there in South Carolina, but I don't
Apparently
know.
nothing good.
Yeah,
Nothing good at all. Malpractice and no money.
exactly.
Yeah. I used to hate the South, honestly, but now that I'm urbexing, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever leave.
Yeah, I mean, the South has a lot of good stuff if you know where to look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, if you don't, we'll have to make that happen
Yeah, we definitely will.
because I'd love to
Um,
hit another one.
you've only done one then, right?
That single one.
Dang, we've
I've been
only
unlucky.
both done one. Yeah, me too. Well, remember we tried.
Yeah, we did. That one was interesting.
That one was a weird spot.
It was weird.
That was a weird spot.
It's just weird. Like they had on the garage door, they had like that piece of plywood just there. And I was like, that's probably how you lifted it up. But, there was those cameras and stuff.
I know, but then like you're also kind of in a
Open.
neighborhood-ish.
Yeah.
Like there's people around
Yeah.
that live right there.
Yeah.
It also looks like someone could live above it or something. It looks
Exactly.
weird. I was like,
Very
I don't
weird.
know.
I mean, I'd have been fine if
I
there
just
was like
remember being like, I think that there's cameras right there. And you're like, where? And I was like, right there. And you're like, oh, he didn't tell me about any cameras.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't tell me.
And I'm like, how can you miss those?
I mean, maybe they
They're like
weren't
the big
there.
ass street cameras
Maybe
pointed right out the fucking side.
maybe
I'm
they
like,
weren't
you know,
there.
your friend is on camera.
Yeah. Maybe
For
they
sure.
weren't there when he went, but I don't freaking know.
They did. Remember, we
Yeah,
looked. We
yeah,
looked
yeah,
on
yeah.
Street
We
View,
did.
and they
Yeah,
were
yeah, you're
definitely
right. So either A, someone wasn't looking at the street cameras at that time they went in there, or I mean, I don't know any other way, to be honest with you. Because it's
there.
right
I
there.
mean, yeah.
It is right
I
there.
don't know how you can miss it.
Yeah. It don't make sense, but you get lucky.
Yeah. Well, hopefully our funeral home luck will turn around.
Yeah, for real. I agree with you.
We'll put the vibe out there.
One of your questions was, have you explored alone? I've only explored alone 3 times. And
That's way more than I thought.
yeah. Ironically, I went back to the taxidermy a second time because I wanted pictures of me there. When we first went, I took pictures of Salem, and I didn't get time to take pictures of me. So I was like,
Salem, you didn't return the favor.
no, I mean, it was fine. I mean, technically, I'm closer to it than she is.
I
So
see.
I was like, I'm not doing anything today. Let's go drive to West Virginia. And I did. And I walked into that taxidermy again and balanced on the beams again and had my tripod with me, my phone, and, I wanted that one picture with the goat. And I got that picture. And, yep, I was satisfied.
You went back for pictures, basically.
I went a week before they demoed it.
Oh.
That was the crazy part. It's because I remember Posey was texting me because he was like, supposedly the taxidermy museum got demolished. And, he heard that from somebody, and then he did some digging and found a post from, I guess, a Facebook group page out there. And there's literally a bulldozer, like, just clawing it down. So,
oh my gosh.
The only thing I know that the owner took, I don't know if you've seen pictures of the outside, but I know there's pictures of the outside on the internet, but there was a giant, like, bear, like, on top of the building. And that was the only thing I know that the owner or somebody took. Everything else is a mystery. Who knows if they left everything else in there or not. But I do know that they did take that bear. I guess a family member did. I don't know, but they they demoed it, and I was like telling him, I said I went back for a second time a week before they tore it down, and I'm glad I went because I was like, if I would have waited any longer, I'd be like, man, I missed my opportunity to get a picture with the goat. But my last minute decision saved me, and I'm glad I got to go. So yeah, that was crazy. And another spot I explored by myself was in Memphis, and you commented on it. I posted a clip on my story of it. It's that synagogue with the golden dome.
Yes.
And you said it was very pretty and stuff. And that spot isn't exactly easy to get into. There's houses that face it, and your only way in is you have to squeeze through a hole in the fence, and you have to go down to the basement where luckily it wasn't raining, but it floods bad. So you have to go on a day where it's not raining or wait a couple days after a rainstorm because it floods. It pools water in there. There was water in there, but it wasn't like deep. I could still walk in it. But I remember my friends were calling me crazy for going in there by myself because that place is crawling with homeless people.
Oh
Crawling.
no, that's the
And
worst.
yeah, I told my friends, they were like, you were ballsy for that. And I was like, why? And they were like, there's a lot of homeless people that live in there. And they're like, some of them are kind of aggressive, depending. But yeah, I was like, I'm going back home today. I'm going to stop at the synagogue and get my pictures and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I did it, went in there, and luckily I didn't run into any homeless people.
Really?
I got lucky. I guess they were all either sleeping or doing their own thing, I guess. I don't know. But I got in and got out, and that's a spot I've wanted to see for a long time. And I'm glad I got to mark that one off my list because
Yeah.
I think it was one
Well,
of Tennessee's oldest, like largest Jewish synagogues at the time
oh,
before
really?
it closed. Now it's
Wow.
Tennessee's largest abandoned Jewish synagogue.
uh, that's pretty rare. It's not every day that you see something like that either.
No, you're
Yeah.
right.
That's pretty cool. I would have done that by myself too, though, if, it's like we said with the clown house, you got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes you got to go through the hole in the wall.
yeah, the giant hole in the wall.
Sometimes you got to go in the middle of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Clown house was actually both of those circumstances.
yeah, it was. So, and I still don't understand because there's a house across the street. Either A, they weren't home or they weren't looking out the windows or anything. But I mean, that's, I did think about that when we were in there. I was like, yeah, if they didn't like notice us or anything, then we're chilling. But,
I
that is the
know. I
thought.
wonder if they've just gotten so used to people going in there, they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, they're probably like, yeah, they're going into that old house. All right, just ignore it.
At
Uh,
least that likely means that not a lot has been stolen out of there because I feel like then they probably would if people constantly saw cars showing up and then people leaving with stuff or something, then I think that would
right.
be different. But I don't know because I think Carter did it and I think he probably took like 4 people and they're all usually wearing backpacks and all this shit. And I'm like, y'all look like the sketchiest people going into a damn bando. Like, truly, y'all look like you're ready to burglarize the place. Like,
Right.
no.
Yeah, and it also, you talked about this a long time ago, like when it comes to like outfit and wear and gear and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I definitely try not to wear everything in black. I try to wear like kind of like, I guess, light gray or because I think,
Something.
yeah, or something like that, or dark colored shirt. Nothing like all black because
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I feel like that's more suspicious. I don't know, but
No, it totally is. I mean, I still wear all black mostly, but I'm a girl.
yeah, that's different.
It is. I think, well, and I don't carry anything. I usually have my phone
Right,
in my hand when I'm going into a bando, and I like don't even put my mask up until I'm in the bando, so I don't look weird
right.
walking outside masked up. So I'm just like, I have my mask around my neck usually and a phone in my hand, and that's it. And I'm like, yeah, if I wanted to take something, I don't think I could get away with a lot. I don't have any pockets or anything in these leggings.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, every place I go to, no matter if it's run down or pristine, I always respectful. Like when we went to Clown House, I mean, you could see I was respectful. And there's some people, and I've encountered this in some houses because I've told you I've ran into a few explorers before while exploring a house or leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's one house, Donna Summer's old house. I can say it's been long gone. They tore it down. And I remember when we went, it was pretty ran through, but I wasn't like, I guess, past the point of no return. And there was a group of explorers or whatever that pulled up. And I thought at the time, I was like, oh crap, I thought it was like the owner or something like that, so we were kind of freaking out. But it was a group of kids, and we hear them. Salem says, "I think they're breaking shit," and then we go over and we say, "Hey, are you guys breaking shit?" And they're like, "Oh no, 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 we're not doing anything like that. No, 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 no." And they didn't stick around much longer after that. I guess because when we confronted them about it, I guess they thought we were gonna rough them up. I don't know, but they didn't stay too long after that because pretty stern about it. Let's put it that way. The way we said it, we were pretty stern.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that and what are you going to do when people know what you're up to? You're still going to just, resume? Like, you need to leave.
and I remember in the final days of that mansion, I remember seeing clips on Facebook. There's that Abandoned Nashville. There's a few other pages I've seen it on, but someone went there and posted clips. It looks like someone literally just took their whole arsenal of weapons or guns or whatever and just like shot at random holes in the wall just for the fun of it.
What?
Yeah, like there was slugs on the ground, there was shotgun shells, and just like you could tell that they just went there probably in the middle of the night and just randomly started shooting shit for no reason.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense to me. Like I don't
No.
understand.
I don't
What do you get
understand
out of that?
vandalism in general. Yeah, I don't get that at all.
I
Plus,
mean,
it's not yours.
no, it's
Go
not.
home and destroy your own shit.
Exactly. I mean, they were probably going to try and put that house back on the market. Well,
Not
nope,
now.
not now.
Yeah.
And that's the same as politicians' mansion. I know Jeremy did a video there when it was in pristine condition. It's the one that with the blue bed with the little seal, like
Oh, yes.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I went there not knowing that it was totally trashed, so I was very upset.
Oh,
Very so
no.
because no one I knew went, and this was really before I started talking to people in the urbex community. I think I talked to like 2 or 3 people at the time, but yeah, so that's why I'm very protective of spots. Like if I've known you for a while and I know that you're not gonna do shit or
Trash it or
trash it
steal.
or leak it or whatever,
Yeah.
then that's fine. But that's another thing is trust. Trust is a big thing in this community. You know, you
For sure. It's like the
exactly
most important
it
thing.
is.
You're doing illegal stuff together.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're in it together in a sense.
Yeah.
So I always say that if you don't have that, you don't really have anything. You get what I mean when it comes to like talking to other people and stuff within the community.
For sure. Yeah. Like if you consider people your friends in this community,
Yeah.
they're definitely people you trust. Otherwise, you don't have friends in this community.
Yeah. Like when I first started talking to Posey, he told me that you vouched for me. And this was like in the early stages when I was talking to him. And it's examples like that. I have that connection with him. Your, I wouldn't say reputation, but like stuff like that matters because, like, hey, what do you think about this person? Is he trustworthy? You know,
Oh, yeah. Are
stuff
you
like
kidding?
that.
There's so many people who have DM'd me that have been like, hey, I would love to come on your podcast and talk, and I've done this and done that. So then I usually screenshot their name and I send it to 4 people. I'm like, who is this and what do you know about them?
Right, exactly. Like,
Legit.
exactly. Yeah,
Like I gotta screen people from now on
yeah,
because there's also some really wacky people in this community that just don't know how to behave.
yeah. I've heard some stories about some.
Mm,
Um, yeah,
yeah.
it's insane because you're
I
like,
mean, I don't
ah,
know any other community that has to have their own confessions page for people to talk shit to each other. So,
yeah. I remember. I don't know if I told you, but it got taken down for a little while. Like,
Urbex confessions
it got
too.
taken down for a little while. Now if you go
Oh,
to it, the page is up, but if you go to it now, all of the posts where there's slandering and saying like the dumb shit about people that isn't true, all those posts are gone. So it probably
oh,
took because they said something about me, which I was like, Yeah, you guys are funny. It's nice to know that I'm on your radar, and
That's what I said.
I just do it for the fun of it. I mean, I like
I'm like,
exploring.
I literally, y'all can make every single post about me for the rest of life on Urbex Confessions, and I'm never ever gonna care.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
don't care about your opinion.
Because someone sent that post that mentioned me, and I was like, huh? Huh? Really? Like, I'm on their radar? That's cute. Like, compared to
You're
everybody
like, thanks
else.
for the shout out.
Yeah, thanks for the shout out. Like, compared to everyone else, I'm,
Mine was actually one of my favorites, and not in like an arrogant way, but they legit, all it said was, Courtney's the one who hacked Big Bank's Facebook page.
yeah, you're totally capable of doing that, right?
I was like, I did.
Yeah,
It was me.
I would have sent that to Carter and be like, hey, I did this. How do
No,
you feel about it?
literally, I wanted to, but then I saw he responded to the post already, and he was like, unless Courtney's some man from the Philippines, I don't think so. And I was like, there you go. So
Yeah,
I
for
was like,
real.
thank you for the free publicity.
Yeah, for real. The free advertisement there.
I'm
It's
like,
like,
that's literally all you have is like some incident that happened to someone else that clearly has nothing to do with me, and you just fish my name out of the pond, and it's like, that's the one.
yep, let's go with that.
Okay.
It's like pulling the name out of the hat. So I'm just like, I don't know who runs it. I don't know if it's a network or people. And I was telling people, because I was like, yo, did Urbex Confessions get banned or did I get blocked? And I was like, oh shit, did they finally get, karma? And, they were off the grid for
Not long enough.
not long enough, but they were off the grid for a little while. And
Dang.
I remember seeing their page pop back up and I was like, they took down all the slander posts, or Instagram just did it themselves and just like, hey, you're banned for this
I
amount of
bet you
time.
that is, they probably were like, you have to take these reported posts down
Yeah.
before you can like restore your page or something.
Yeah, exactly. They probably saw that and they were like, you're banned for a couple days. And if you don't, take down these posts, then your ban's going to be extended or permanent or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Permanent. So
they were like, say less, we're deleting them.
So, I was sitting there, I was like, it's going to happen someday. And then, it happened and they got karma. So that's what happens when you just say random shit and slander people.
Yeah. AKA fuck around and find out.
That's legit what that, yep. Fuck around and find out.
I love it.
I do too. Everybody was talking about it. Like, everyone was like, so like elated, and like, it was really funny. Because like,
yeah, that's sad when a whole community is celebrating your departure.
In the group chats that I'm in, these stupid group chats I'm in, everyone was just like, yo, can you believe it? Yo, it happened. Oh my God. And it was just like,
that's so funny. I thought I was going
to
to be the only one that excited over it.
Oh, I was too.
Then I missed the whole thing somehow, but I have them blocked. So to me, they don't exist anyway.
No, that's fair.
It's usually not until like me or someone I know like comes into my DMs and they're like, hey girl, you're on Urbex Confessions again. And I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, great. What did they say this time? That's
whose Facebook did I hack this time?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have a thick spine to be in this community.
Yes,
I will say
that is true. This is going to sound really just like straight to the point, but I'm just going to say it anyway. There are some really like fucking weird people in this community. So many fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Half the people that I've ran into, not all of them, but the few encounters I've had, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, why is everybody in this community that we run into like leaving a bando or entering a bando just weird? Like,
because that's how you're not supposed to meet people in this community.
I guess, but like, it's just
meet
like,
on the internet first.
For real. But I mean, like, that's just how it's not always like that, but recently, yes. For whatever reason.
No, I beg to differ. For me, it's always been like that.
Really? Okay.
But not even in person meeting, just like crossing paths virtually. And literally every time I turn around, I tell my girlfriend a story about something that's happening in the community. She's like, the weirdest fucking people are Urbex.
Yes.
Like, she's like, every time you tell me something, I'm literally more astonished than the last story you told me, which was already weird to begin with. And now it gets weirder and weirder every time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Something's wrong with these people. That's not us, though.
I don't think so, at least.
But yeah, some of them are strange, for sure.
You probably had some interesting messages, that's for sure. That's
yeah.
I don't get too many of those, but sometimes I do.
I don't know why people want to try me. I'm like, do y'all literally not listen to my podcast and get a sense of the kind of person I am?
Yeah, for real.
I try to make it very clear.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, I'm not nice. I'm not. Don't listen to anyone. Ty, stop telling people I'm nice. I'm not nice.
No,
whoever says that about me is a liar, or they're really close to me and I've chosen very delicately to be nice to them. But my organic self is an asshole. If you ask me for a spot, I'm going to tell you no. If you ask me twice, I'm going to tell you fuck no. And if you ask me a third time, I'm going to put you on blast on an Instagram story. And if you try it a fourth time, I'm going to put you on blast on the podcast. So, no.
Where's the block option on that list? Is that 5?
Don't ask me for anything.
I get
Meanwhile, we just told the whole story of how we became friends, and all you had to do be like, so I need help with the future test. I'm like, say less, I got you. And I'll send you a whole map of spots that you can hit after to make the trip worth from Tennessee to here worth your while.
Hey, look, I still have that map. That's like a piece of that's a memory right there. Is that map?
That's what you actually need to print out and frame and hang on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's actually
I'm offended that you haven't done that yet.
I'm working on it. That is a good idea, though. I actually like that. That's cute. Frame it on the wall with my other stuff.
For real though.
No, because that's actually funny that you said that. Because this is when I first started talking to Carrie. Because Carrie went, I think, either before or after Teacher's House. I think it was before I went. Yeah, I think you took her, right?
I took her, a week later.
Yeah, or something like that. And she said the exact same thing. She was like, she's usually not that nice to new people, so I don't know what it is with you. And I was like, I don't know. I guess I just give off that vibe. I don't know. But she said the exact same thing.
That's how you know the people who actually know me. Yeah. I love how Rose put it. I think Posey told me one time, he was like, when I asked Rose about you, she said that Courtney's unapologetically herself. And I was like, that is literally the nicest way to put, she's a fucking asshole and doesn't care.
No, that sums it up. That sums it up right there.
And I'm like, I like it. If you need a nice assessment of yourself, I highly recommend talking to Rose Urbex because she cannot be mean. I swear to you, she can't be mean. Even when she tries and she's pissed off at you, she'll be direct, but she cannot for the life of her be mean. And I'm like, Rose, I need you to be a bitch sometimes. And she's like, I thought I was. I'm like, you're like an angel.
Yeah.
You don't do anything wrong. Everyone loves you. That's how you know, too. This toxic ass community, but everyone loves Rose.
Yeah. Literally everyone I've talked to.
Yeah.
Like Kinsey.
And it's because she's so nice.
Yeah. She's like, I love Rose. She's so sweet.
She is.
She is.
She's the best. We just did a whole promo for Rose.
Yeah. Go check her out.
Shout out.
Shout
out. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will let us both get out of here. But before that, do you have an explorer's track? Did you prepare one?
I have 3.
What is with you in 3?
I don't. It's hard for me to choose.
I got to do top 3 for everything.
It's hard for me to choose. I mean,
okay.
I'm an old soul when it comes to music. I'll listen to 60s, 70s, 80s.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I told you about when we met. I told you I listened to Depeche Mode.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yes. She's the reason why she
and The Cure.
Yeah, The Cure. And Joy Division, I don't think I ever mentioned them around you, but they're a melancholy band, like alternative 70s and stuff like that, really when that started kicking off. But and then Linkin Park, we talked about Linkin Park.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so my Explorer's track, I would say either In the End by by Linkin Park, Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode, Joy Division, Decades. Those would probably be my three if I had to pick.
I like those.
Yeah.
Those are good. Those are good Explorers tracks.
I feel like just it fits, Joy Division, Decades, Decade,
Yeah.
abandonment. Depending how long something's been sitting around.
For sure. In the end, very
Yeah, in
much
the
fitting.
end. Yeah, exactly.
Those are good. All right. Well, if you want to tell everyone where they can find you, like your social media, YouTube, any of that.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram, YouTube, mainly Instagram, at Exploring with Ty. I'm starting my YouTube channel back up. I've posted a few videos on there of some of my explorations. But yeah, you guys can find me on YouTube and Instagram, Exploring with Ty.
Well, thanks for taking the time to come onto the podcast. I know we're long overdue for that.
Yes, I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Yeah, me too.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun. Me too. And that was my conversation with Exploring with Ty, someone who not only shares a love for urban exploration, but understands the deeper pull behind it, the nostalgia, the stillness, the stories waiting to be remembered. It's wild how something like wandering through forgotten places can lead to a real connection, real friendship, and some really unforgettable memories. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you show Ty some love. You can find him at Exploring with Ty. And if you're not already, be sure to follow the podcast, subscribe wherever you're listening, and leave a review. It helps more than you know, and it keeps conversations like this going. As always, Ty's information and the podcast information will be linked in the description. And that is that for today's episode. Thank you guys for coming back and listening to another episode of Echoes of Elsewhere. I will be back in 2 weeks as always. Until then, keep exploring the allure in the abandoned, the beauty of decay, and the echoes of elsewhere.